the walks are about getting outside of yourself. Everybody, and I mean everyone, we all get lost in our daily routine. We all get caught up in our jobs and work and stress. That's life. And especially as an American generation that is a long, long ways away from ever having real need. We are so far away from our bare necessity of realizing what we've got. And everybody's guilty of that. But what we saw in Africa... he's like an exclamation point. Africa. Walk. See, now he's looking at me with a blank stare. What was I saying? In Africa, what we realized was that just like everybody else, we were waiting. We had a lot of friends involved in charitable work, missions work, and things going on in Africa, and they've been saying to us, you know, you just have to understand and experience what's going on here, because there's a movement of hope, and there's also a despair, but at the same time, those things are happening next to each other. And we were waiting, but the walks are about not waiting any longer, okay? Yes, we're walking through a parking lot in Wallingford, but this is where it starts, okay? Every great story starts with simple steps. And you've heard it a million times, you've seen the infomercial, you know, this much money helps a child, and you just kind of glaze over. But this is about our generation looking for a simple way to do good where we can, to do it every day, to do it in a way that's tangible. When you guys are walking, you're doing something. That $1 we're giving on your behalf today is to try and make the point that action is the far more difficult and important thing when it comes to facing a huge challenge like extreme poverty, like HIV, these things that are just kind of, you get overwhelmed. That $1 is what somebody's living on today. That $1 is a few days of life for a young woman that needs to take a drug that can help keep from transmitting HIV to the next generation. That $1 is a year of water for somebody. So when you're walking, this is about getting outside of every other thing that drives you crazy, every other thing that makes you feel like you don't have, you don't have enough power to really do something that's going to leave a mark. When you look at somebody, and not to be cheesy, because I have a low cheese meter, so I just de-cheese it. But when we first went to Africa after the walk tour, and we helped with a lot of you guys, we helped Tom's reach the goal that had been the furthest they'd gone at that point of giving 50,000 shoes to kids in South Africa. We sat with kids not much older than our stroller buddy here. Yeah. And so many of them had never had a pair of shoes that was their own. Calluses on their feet, walking 5 miles every day to get to school, if they're lucky to be going to school, because they're the few that are. And so the walk is this one strange mile where we walk in somebody else's situation, where we put ourselves in their shoes or their lack of shoes. And I would just encourage you guys, don't listen to everybody around you that says, Africa, Bono was there, it's good, Madonna bought a baby, we're clear. Don't listen to them, okay? Every great story comes, you see it goes up and down and sideways, and great people that we are all inspired by have taken the time and the effort to see it through when no one else cared, okay? That is leadership. That is what's inspiring. Nobody ever makes movies about people that just shut up and like, hey, it worked, awesome, oh, cool.
And they do make it look like it was weak.
Yeah, exactly. the great stories and the great people, the things that get stuff done, come with ups and downs and labor and struggle, and that's what makes the success that much sweeter. And what's going on in Africa is an emergency that if we were living there, you guys, all of us, we would be the ones we're helping. Young people, young women, fathers.
30 and 40% of us.
Yeah, between 30 and 40% of us would have HIV, and most likely have zero hope of changing that scenario. So, the dollar today is somebody's life. You guys stepped up to the line. You are among the few, trust me. And I would encourage you guys to not make this your last mile. Make this, even if it's mile 20 or 30, or people that have walked.
It's mile 170.
170 or so for us. But make this the new beginning, okay? Wipe everything else off the slate. And the next time you do it, don't build up a tally in your mind of how much you've done. Start fresh that day. Say, today I'm walking again. And that's what we're doing. Every day, looking for something that we can do that is inspired and driven by our talents, by our ability to show up. Nobody can do that for you. Today, you guys showed up. Revelant. So we gotta finish this mile circle. Thank you for letting your feet get numb. And let's finish this walk. Ready? I took the walk!